Hello, lovely souls. Welcome to the Conversation with MJ, where we are going to embark on a journey of connection, growth, discovery together. I'm your host, MJ, and I'm thrilled to have you join me on this exhilarating ride through realms of inspiration, wisdom, and insight. So, we're going to deep dive into the heart of what it means to live a fulfilling life, to pursue our passions, and to unlock our greatest potential. Each episode is a celebration of human connection and a testament to the power of authenticity and a reminder that we are all on this journey together. So get ready to be inspired, get ready to be empowered, and get ready to ignite your inner fire, because here at Conversations with MJ, the adventure never ends. So join us with every moment an opportunity to shine. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, please leave a comment, and the show will be starting shortly. See you soon. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. I hope you have a wonderful day. So, I know I haven't been going live, but I wanted to go live for this one. So, it seems like the lost boys of YouTube still don't know when to act like adults and mind their business or go get a life, or even, in fact, go get a girl. Like, these things are not happening. And it's very unfortunate for them. Very disappointing that these are the examples and the images of men that our young men in our community has to look up to. It's pretty pathetic. Oh, hey Don, how you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna show you the Lost Boys. I'm gonna show you the Lost Boys. But before I get into that, so yesterday I was last night I was at work and I was supporting another fellow content creator, Lapeef, the Lapeef Network. I know people have their stories and histories of the Lapeef, but the amount of time that I have spoken to him and been invited on his panels, he has been nothing but professional and respectful to me. So I do enjoy going over to the Lapeef Network and speaking with the gentlemen that do come on the panel and sometimes in the chat. But unfortunately, last night, around 3 o'clock in the morning, well, yeah, I would say 3 o'clock in the morning. It's still night to me, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning. We had some visitors of people who normally don't go to the Lapeef Network. Not saying that they never been there. They probably are. Some of them have wrenches. But nonetheless, it was a swarm of men to come and tell MJ and put her in her place. How dare MJ go to a panel and speak about something, give her opinion. Opinions don't mean that I'm necessarily right. Opinions is exactly what they are. Opinions. Moderators, you have been instructed to go ahead and hide said individuals from my channel. So I go to a panel and they're talking. The conversation last night, it started with many things, but then it led to the point where it was the policing of women's hair, makeup. Now, I understand that men have their opinions on women's hair and makeup specifically. Good day to you, Truth. Good day. Specifically when it comes down to Black women, right? I understand that when you are expressing yourself, the things that you don't necessarily like to see women wear or how they dress, you're trying to come from a element of, hey, we're trying to help you out to attract the type of men that you want. I am not blind to this. However, when you're having conversations and when women are expressing themselves to you, they're not expressing that the fact that they're not taking your concerns into consideration. They're expressing the delivery of how you are showing your concerns to them, because it doesn't come off as genuine advice. It doesn't come off as good criticism. It comes off in an attacking manner. It comes off as you're trying to belittle or demean an individual, and you have joy or you find pleasure into doing that. And this is why a lot of women are very non-responsive to the criticism that men might give. Hey, world class, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. So I wanted to show you guys my part when I had came into the Blktube network last night. And shout out to JP. I was just over at his channel. I'm very happy for him and his family. They got a very big contract. It's more safe. It's more cleanly. They don't have to deal with the riffraffs coming from the club. So I'm very, very happy for them. And this is a contract that's going to lead into them building a franchise. So shout out to the Davises family. Much, 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 much appreciation and respect for you and hard work and good etiquette. So let me show you guys what exactly am I talking about. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this. You should be able to see it. Okay, perfect, you do. Awesome. All right. So this happened last night, and as of right now, it's still growing the viewership. This is 3,500, 3,500. So it's doing well. It's a very good show, and this is great for Lapeef. And I also want to appreciate and thank JR for disabling the live chat or the replay, because the things that were being said in the chat was very disrespectful to panelists that was invited. Now, I know a lot of y'all don't know what goes behind the scenes, but I was actually invited to participate in this panel by JR. I had to decline because of my work schedule. But I did have some free time, and there was some open spots available around 3 o'clock in the morning. So I decided to come up and participate in the conversation. Okay. So I'm going to go over when I came up in the screen. So I want you to see the things that I was saying. And then I'm going to show you the things that was being said about me in the chat. And then you tell me if the things that were said about me in the chat was warranted, or was it just some immature, childish bullying per se. You decide. So let's go. Let me make sure that I have the volume. Y'all let me know in the chat if you hear the volume, okay?
Hard ways with, that's kind of an issue because I hate it. And every time I see it, it's going to bother me.
So you would be wrong to continue another date with her knowing that.
Right. There you go. That's what I'm saying. It'd be like, I'm cool. If she can't get over this dirty ass wig, then I'm cool. I'm out. You
wasted her time because you like everything else about her, but the wig is a problem. So
first. That's what
wasted her time.
Be real.
How's that wasting her time? And both our time equal? It didn't work out. Plain and simple. Move along. You know what I'm saying? Just like hold on, bro, Jay. Just like let me see. Is it a waste of your time if it's something that this dude do that you just don't like? You know what I'm saying? We making this about the hair like that can't be something that it could be an issue.
No, you wasted her time because you said you liked everything else about her. But
if that's something that she could never get over, then it's gonna bother me every time. So I'm gonna
along with you tolerate, right? Because the wig is a hard line for you, so you wasted her time. It don't matter if everything else is cool about her. If she wearing the wig, you don't like it. So why approach wig wearers if you don't like wigs? Period. That's a hard line for you. That's a deal breaker.
That's
the fair question. No matter what else is going on.
Because it's an easy fix. It's not like I said I don't like somebody with one arm.
She just went down and told you how hard it is to fix.
But the same, it's not. No, we came up with a hypothetical of somebody that for some reason has to wear this wig, not reality. They wear those wigs when they want to braid their real hair back and throw that joint on top. Come on, man, let's stop. I'm talking about reality, not these hypothetical one-off scenarios. I'm saying if you meet somebody and the worst thing about them is they got a bad wig on, I'm pretty sure it's something you can do that can help you get past that. If she can't,
you willing to provide resources to help her?
I said that already.
Okay, well then you just got to go to the bank. That's all.
Right, he willing to.
So you willing to pay to play?
But most men are. If you don't like something, most men will be like, "Hey, look, you know what I mean? I'd rather you wear this." She'd be like,
"Hey, so women's natural hair don't look nice."
Yeah, but what he did, he also said
most men ain't paying for. No, most men ain't. No, they not.
Yes, they are.
Especially with the drizzle going on. No, the hell they ain't, bro.
Most men that walk into they are in relationships with a woman. And they said that they don't like something about that woman, and she says, "Are you gonna pay for it? That's all I got right now." He's gonna say, "Yeah."
So you change it. I'm talking about dating and vetting somebody, not already in a relationship. Most men ain't finna say, "All right, well, shit, I don't like this, but I like it. I'll pay for you to get it different." Most men ain't saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the bag."
You jumping the gun because you're asking law about a situation if he was already in a relationship with the woman.
No,
it wasn't.
He was dating her. It was 1 or 2 days. You jumping the gun.
Was it 1 or 2 days law? Was it if you was already in a relationship with it?
1 or 2 dates.
We've gone back and forth on each way. We talked about it each way. You know what I'm saying? My original point was once you get with a woman, and that's the worst thing about her, once y'all get together, I'm pretty sure you can let her know, look, I would prefer if you tried your hair this way. You dig what I'm saying? Right. That's what I said. Plain and simple. And
that's the scenario if you already in a relationship with her, right?
So in that scenario,
and then we ask, okay, what did she say? Oh, I like your suggestion, but I'm good with what I got. And then we ask you what happens after that, and you said she's probably not going to be in a relationship with me no more.
No, he said.
That's what he said. No, that's what he said, sweetie. He just said it.
Who was it? After he already said that he will offer to pay for it. and she still says, and y'all say, what if she just doesn't want to do it? And then he said, oh, well, then I guess we ain't gonna work. But he did offer to pay to get her hair done.
I get that.
Asked him.
Just like I said, if we remove the hair. Even if we remove the hair,
well, I'll get you a fade. He even said that too.
But what we're trying, the point we're trying to argue is that you had already gave her a relationship and gave her the understanding that y'all going to be in this for a long haul, and then something came up where you didn't like, and you tried to address it and rectify it, and she wasn't agree with it, and then now you want to kick her to the curb.
Here's the question we're not asking the women, right? Kelly Bev, MJ. Why is this makeup and weave so important to y'all? To the point where no, I really want to hear. We never asked them why, because the only thing we just doing and keep talking to them, complaining about it. Let's ask them, how come y'all can't put that down and let that go? Especially for y'all might be missing out on a lot of husbands or a lot of good men because of this factor. What? How come y'all so attached to this? Is it like an addiction since y'all been running for so long or whatever the case? Why is it that important to y'all to the point where y'all put it above y'all men?
Like, I don't think they
niggas like straight hair. Now, next question.
I'm gonna say like this, JP. You know I don't wear wigs and everything. I have very long locks, my own hair. And number two, women have the rights to their grooming tactics. We had them for centuries. It's not going anywhere. If you don't like the trends that women's grooming taxes have gone to that level, then don't deal with those particular type of women. That's all you have to do. But the simple fact is that you're sitting up here making an argument for women that you probably are not even interested in to acquiesce to what you want, which is ridiculous. Worry about your woman and have the conversation with her. And if she's aligned with you, most likely it wouldn't even be a problem. But doing it to other women that you probably wouldn't even want to date physically, aesthetically, I think it's foolish. And it's just pretty much just being immature, really, at this point.
Absolutely.
So with that, real quick, MJ. So what that means is that we should complain about how hold on once, y'all. Hold on once. We should complain about how men conduct themselves on TV and stuff like that because it's pushing off a bad image, right? So we shouldn't complain about that at all, right? Because
JP, that's a whole hold on, let me answer you, JP. That is a whole different conversation, and that's moving the goalposts. You're talking about behaviors that is unfitting for a man, negative behaviors that affects your image as a man, and you're trying to say that this is equivalent to a woman's hairstyle and the amount of makeup or what type of makeup she's interested in. That doesn't make any sense. If she's not that type of woman, here's my here. Let me finish, JP. Hold on for a second, bro. Just come on. You know you're my bro. Hold on. Yeah. So, like, what I'm trying to say is, if you see a woman out here and she's perceived to look like a 304, or she just got off the strip club, my logic would say, if she looks like a stripper and I don't want my woman to look like a stripper, I'm not going to talk to her. What men have to admit is you don't want to sacrifice. That's the whole point. You don't want to sacrifice your opportunity to have access to that woman, whether or not you know that she is not going to be the woman that you're going to line up with later on down the future. You still want to have the ability to. Now you can't. Now here's the thing. If you get with a woman who has a certain type of style and you was okay with that, like you said, I think that's who's that on top, Darwin. Like he said, you gave her all these graces. You might not have liked her makeup the first time you saw her. You might not wasn't really even feeling her hairstyle. You probably didn't really even like her dress. But you gave her all the graces in the beginning, still went on a date with her, felt her out. She's cool peoples. Go on a second date with her. Now all of a sudden you get in a relationship with her and you're like, you know what? Everything I saw about you in the beginning, that's not the woman I want to be with or the example of my wife. Can you change that? That is crazy talk. Listen,
thank you. This is all I was trying to say.
If I see a if I see a dude with I don't like dudes who wear Jordans. If I see a dude wearing Jordans and dressing like he's 20 years old and I'm a 40-year-old woman, I'm not entertaining you.
Thank
you. That's it.
I agree with that.
So I'm going to stop it right here. Okay. So in the process of me stating the reason why I said, if you're going to go to a woman and you have deal breakers, right? Because this is what the conversation is leading with. They first started off about talking about transgender women, right? And then they was expressing to them that they do not like the makeup or the new trend of makeup that looks like it's transformative. Or to one of the gentlemen on the on point, clownish makeup. They don't very like the very loud, abrupt makeup or the very loud hairstyles or, very distinct hairstyles. They don't like that, right? So that's where it started from. My opinion is that if those are deal breakers for you, then you shouldn't be going after women that looks like those said deal breakers, and thinking that you can get her into a relationship or a marriage and then change her or mold her into exactly what you want her to be, because you're going to have a hard time. It's going to create pushback. And oh, hey, how you doing, Raw Beef? Hello, how are you doing? So it's going to create pushback. It's going to even cause more problems in your relationship, right? So for me, for example, because again, I'm going to show you where the comments start, right? What was being said. When I gave the example about the Jordans, I said, if I see a 40-year-old man like myself, me being 40, and he has Jordans on and he is dressing as like a 20-year-old, he is not in my line of work. That's somebody I would not be interested in if he's 40 years old, my age, dressing like he's 20. And even in the process, when I continue to play the video, I'm going to tell everybody that is my opinion. That is my opinion. That doesn't mean that falls on anyone. That doesn't mean that anyone has to even take my advice. You choose whatever you want. But I would not prefer a man my age to be dressing in Jordans. That's just what it is. The issue where it became to men down there is that when they spent all night, especially in the chat, not necessarily the men on the panel, but especially in the chat, while they're saying very mean things and policing women's hair, policing women's makeup for for especially for Black women, this and this and this and this and this and this. I wanted to show them, how does it feel when someone tells you, well, okay, well, you wearing Jordans at the age of such and such, that's a no-go. You should be kicked off the market. You should not even be a option. And they got their panties in the bunch after that. How dare you? How dare you say that we can't wear Jordans and sneakers when we're 40 or 45 or things of that sort? But I wanted to show you how. As True said, I still rock my Jordans. True. Listen, that's cool, because you know what? Your lady respects you and she doesn't care. And then also another thing, which you're going to see me say too, I was going to say, if I gave the person grace, let's say I dated someone who wore sneakers all the time or whatever all the time, and I know that I didn't like that about that individual, but I gave him grace because I was looking at his personality, his character, or whatever not. I felt that it would be wrong for me to get in a relationship, all the way into the relationship, and now demand that this person remove all his Jordans and change his whole wardrobe. I don't think that's fair. And I was trying to show them that's how it comes off when you do that to women. It's not fair. That when you met them that certain type of way, that is their identity. That's how they express themselves, through their clothing. And if you were okay with that, or you gave grace because you still really wanted to get to know that person, you still really wanted to be in a relationship with that person, it is very unfair for you to now get them in a full relationship and now take that part of their identity away from them. That is what I was trying to express to these individuals. But you know how this space is. So we have to look at the evidence, right? But let me let y'all hear some more of this.
God, hold on, let me respond to it. So I agree with that, MJ. This is my issue, right? It's bigger than just a man dating his woman, right? Because like when you say how the behaviors, I believe that's a breeding ground for little girls that were looking up to y'all. Like they look up to Sessi. Hold on, they look up to Sessi Red, Glorilla, and all them other type of
That
people.
sounds like a household personal problem that your
because
daughter is
y'all
looking up to
no,
Glorilla and
because
Sesame
it's some. See the problem, y'all got accountability too. Of the little girls that look up to y'all, they gonna try to emulate y'all. And I got 3 little daughters gonna be watching y'all, looking up to y'all. And I do believe when you have to wear and alter yourself to the point where you don't feel comfortable or even comfortable going outside with your natural self, it's gonna teach my daughters them the same thing, which is the bleeding
But
ground
here's
of
what
walking. Hold on, let me
Jay,
Let
finish.
me ask you this. Hold on. Before y'all start screaming all in my ear again.
I'm trying
okay,
to
let
land
me
it.
play. I'm sorry, I apologize.
It's the breeding grounds. It's the breeding grounds of low self-esteem, low confidence, not believing in yourself. Have to feel like you believing your natural self is not desirable to the point where you feel like you need this hair and makeup as medication to make yourself feel good.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Hold on. Let me ask this real quick. What shoes do 20-year-olds wear? Because
They
last
wear
time I checked,
Jordans, they wear
no, they don't.
sneakers.
20-year-olds don't even know nothing about Jordan. They think LeBron to go to some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
They wear
40-year-olds are
Jordans.
used. I mean, shit. I'm
What
telling you,
20-year-old
they
don't
don't.
wear Jordans?
They
What?
wear
I have a
weak ass
20-year-old.
Balenciagas and these old fake ass big
No, they
shoes.
wear
No.
I'm
dunks
sorry.
all
I
day.
have a
So
20-year-old
wait.
and he likes Jordans.
Like literally, there's
So,
literally
so
teenage
let me
boys
ask
out
you.
here with sneakers.
Hold on.
Okay.
Like
No,
they
So
just still
so
wear
40-year-old
Jordans.
men shouldn't wear sneakers?
Not all the time.
What?
based
I'm
on
Yeah,
not.
well,
what?
Guess what? Okay,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
my
No,
husband
no.
has a closet full of Jordans. Our son likes what? Jordans.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, you do not get to come up here and tell us we can't tell you how to wear your hair. You gonna police us about some damn shoes?
But here's the thing: you're sitting up here trying to police women about their hair. You're sitting up here trying to police women about their makeup all night. And now, when I tell you that it's a no-go with the shoes, you see how it feels?
No, I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna explain why because you made the argument. You made the argument that Jay Prince and Law should be up here talking to people about how they shouldn't wear whatever they gonna wear. Their hair is how we wear our hair because that's what we want to do. But in the same breath, was
No,
like,
that's not what she did.
That's
She
not my
said she
argument.
wouldn't. She
My
said she wouldn't
argument
date them.
is listen 1 second, please. My argument is not to change people. Go and get what you want. Stop trying to change a person.
Fair enough. But the
If
thing
you
is,
don't,
fair enough. But the thing is once you make the statement that people over 40 don't wear Jordans, that's a lie. They do wear Jordans.
I said people, if I see a man who is wearing Jordans and he's 40, he's not in my line. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that is my standard. So if you're 40 and you're wearing Jordans, that's a no-go.
Right.
So,
I didn't say that had to be anybody else's.
So as a 42, 41-year-old man, I wear a lot of Jordans. Like my house full of
all of them.
Yeah, like a lot of them.
Okay, that's cool. And the woman that's right for you,
let
going
him
to
finish.
accept that.
Let him finish. Let him finish. Can you turn your mic
You
down?
are more than welcome to not date a man who wears Jordans, and I can't hold that against you. That's your preference, and I'll never be mad at you for that. I understand why you would like that. When it comes to changing somebody, I will find a woman I'm physically attracted to first, and then the parameters for the relationship will require her to mold and change to fit into that so we can move forward. The physical attraction does have to be there, and then we move here.
And it works
correct
both ways.
me if I'm wrong,
Men
MJ.
change.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Hold on. I was up. Look, it works both ways. You know what I'm saying? If you think women are not changing men and men not changing everything that they can that a woman likes, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to being in a relationship, then it's crazy. When we say you're not gonna just find somebody that's gonna be everything that you want, y'all work together and then y'all also become closer. Y'all start doing things for each other that, you know what I'm saying, that's going to benefit each other. You know, that's how it works. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from, I'm hold on, I ain't done. I'm not speaking from just hypotheticals. You dig? I'm talking about the way it works, the way you see it happening. You did. If you get married, you're probably gonna have to agree on some things, right? Let's agree on how this is. What colors are we gonna have for the wedding? We have to come together on that. You might hate this color. He might hate that color, but y'all gonna compromise, right? So if I tell you I don't like those wigs, but I do like this, and you tell me you don't like something that I wear, or whatever the case may be, I'm going to change that because you are molding me to be your husband, and I am molding you to be my wife. So if it has to come to, that one thing that you used to do that I didn't like when we first started dating, you start to change that. If y'all don't think that that's true, we live it in La La world.
But that is different.
If he has a closet full of Jordans, I'm not going to tell him to all of a sudden just
throw out his Jordans
if I got with him.
That don't make no sense. That's literally me. Why would I even date him or entertain him if he has, like she said, a closet full of Jordans? He spent so much money on that. He has a whole set, right? And then now, while we're dating, well, here we go. Here you go, babe. I'm gonna need you to throw out all those Jordans and put on some loafers now and wear that all day. And he's like, I don't want to wear loafers because they hurt my feet and they're tight and some shit like that. But well, you're gonna have to do it because I don't like Jordans anymore. Like that's retarded.
That's the same thing as asking a woman to wear her hair as opposed to wigs. That's the same thing.
You made the comparison to shoes, sir. We didn't.
No, it's actually essentially it is.
You make the same you make the same frivolous comparisons earlier about wearing clothes earlier. Yes, you did. You compared wigs to clothes. So she just went right along with it.
No, he's confirming
y'all complain about men that y'all don't date all the time, though.
No, he's confirming the comparison. He's not saying that there is no comparison. He's confirming.
So what do we say about the women complaining about the men that they do not date? Right? Y'all come on. Y'all got this female channels that talks about the men all day long that they supposedly that don't date.
And what do? Y'all literally go to them and say, why are you talking about the men that you don't date? If you say you don't want them,
even though we go criticize, it's just the fact that it's just the fact that y'all do it.
JP,
women do it.
The whole point is no reason why you're still trying to convince women that you don't want or possibly would not want to be your mate to act and perform as your mate.
Absolutely.
MJ, we just look at hair as like
why are you trying to stress like she's technically right? If you get the relationship.
So as you see, we're going to continue on down the road, but this is all I was saying. Why are you stressing yourself out on women who doesn't even align with what you see in a woman or what you're attracted to in a woman? It's just unnecessary work. You're putting in more effort to try to convince women that you know that you don't want to be with to acquiesce to how you want your woman to act. And truthfully, it's not going to happen the way that you want it to happen. Okay, we see results of it, right? When y'all say this about us women, stop trying to change a dude. You knew who a dude was from the get-go. So if you knew who he was from the get-go, why you thought that he was going to change? You say this to us. I'm just applying your logic back to you. You're sitting up here and you're campaigning for women to change who don't care about what your standards of a woman is. And when you're trying to force them, more that you try to force someone, they're going to rebel, or you're going to put yourself in a situation where they're going to lie in your face and pretend that they're going to acquiesce to the things that you want and be content with it. And then you're going to be in a whole lifetime of pain and struggle while you're already in a relationship or a marriage with this person and also have kids involved. Because the subconscious mind is going to kick in. The subconscious mind is going to kick in. People revert back to what they naturally do and how they naturally act after 3 years. People could put in a facade for 3 years. Look it up. Okay? My younger sister went to Brown University in her psychology class, they literally study this as a case study that people can put on a facade up to 3 years until the subconscious mind kicks in and they will revert back to who they really are, right? You don't want to be in that type of situation. If you see someone who looks like that's not the potential mate that you want to be with or the woman that you want to marry, the best thing that you can possibly do is not deal with that woman at all. But a lot of men are not being honest. The reason why you will still deal with an individual, and it's the same with women, but the reason why you still will deal with an individual is because you have that hope. You have that hope that that person like you enough that they are going to change for you. That is what is allowing you to do it. And it's also an extra benefit for men because you can still present to this woman that you're interested in her, but in the back of your mind, you know that you already put her in a category. And the category is she's my weekend chick, or she's my Tuesday chick, or she's my Thursday chick, right? But you have already set in stone by looking at her, by seeing her mannerisms, the way that she talks, this is not going to be your wife. But you still want to have access to her. You still want to have the ability to talk to her, and you still want to have the ability to have sexual endeavors with her if she's up for it. And this is where the problem is lying, because you don't want to sacrifice. There is a sacrifice that you are told that you're going to have to pay to be with the person that you want. This is what you tell us women every day in this space, that we have to sacrifice to be with the type of man that we want. We can't have it all. We can't have our cake and eat it too. So if that's the case, if I'm going to agree with your logic, you have to stand on your logic too. You have to stand on your logic too. It is not a good look for you to be men and to talk on both sides of your mouth while you're still trying to give good criticism and instruction to masses of women. There is a responsibility there. There's a responsibility there. Sure, we know we have men who want their cake and eat it too. It is what it is. Sure, we know we have men who will manipulate the situation. And we do have men who will stand square on square. And then we also have men who will say, my standard for me doesn't mean that other men get to have that standard. But that's amongst y'all men folk. That's y'all men talk. Y'all decide where your classes and your levels and is. You decide to pick where, if a man is low class, if a man is high class, y'all have your own metrics that you use for that. And I'm not going to take that away from you. But it gives mixed signals to women when you sit up there and we can see that you're trying to just leave this open avenue for you to have many plethora of options. And then at the same time, you're telling women, hey, not only do you need to vet, not only do you need to really know who you're dealing with. Now you're saying all these things, but then yet, again, in this whole conversation, you can go on a date with someone who looks like they went to the Megan Thee Stallion concert, or they are an avid supporter of Sexy Red. And you will still go on this date with this woman and pretty much pretend or can keep the illusion of there being something potentially more than just smashing. Off of the premise is that because you do not want to sacrifice. And that is what's hurting our community. That is also what is hurting good women or decent women, because, good is subjective, right? But definitely decent women who have the basic requirements to be a good spouse, a good mate. this is what when you're saying things like this and you're acting on the things that you're saying, this is what changes these women to start have the mannerisms of you or mannerisms of the women that you don't like. Let's go on.
It's not right.
But what's the fight?
No, this
he
is
just
what I'm
won't
saying.
smoke,
MJ,
bro.
hold on, MJ. What I'm saying is, I think we look at the wig, the woman. If a woman got all the other qualities, we look at the hair stuff like real small. It's
Why
a
are you nodding
deal,
your
but
head,
it's
Mom? No,
not.
you don't. That's a deal
It's a
breaker for
deal,
you.
but it's
Don't
not
nod your head in
that big
agreement.
of a deal if she's everything else.
But see, that's a deal breaker for you, but you think that it's minuscule for her to remove it. And that's the problem. You are not respecting her boundaries, but you want her to respect your wants. And there's where the conflict comes at. So I can understand and agree with the compromising, right? And that comes with the care and the respect for one's wants, needs, and things that comes with it.
Fair enough.
But the thing with the discussion that was happening today, you're clearly talking about an individual that you don't know, that you're trying to know, and you're already testing them on the second date whether or not they're going to acquiesce to you. Let me tell you something. I have 5 brothers. I was raised in a 2-family household with my father. Let me tell you something. If a man is asking you and you don't really even know him, and he's already asking you up jump to acquiesce to them, it's kind of that would be a red flag to me. Because it's to me, I'm gonna be like, is he testing me to see if I'm going to acquiesce to every man, or have I done that to every fucking relationship I've been in? It's
You
weird
can't
to me.
assume that.
I don't like stuff like that. Like you're setting out the wrong message. Even if you are good intentions, it's just reading wrong when it comes to women's ears.
So MJ, will you give us black men some grace? Like the reason why, like, let me finish, right? The reason why I say some grace because we understand like weave and this makeup stuff became a part of our culture now when it comes to our racial women. So when y'all asking us why do you still mess with these women, it just became more since it's been happening too long and is a large number of our women doing it. It became
It's actually
acceptable
not.
long years. It became acceptable years ago to the point where it just culture now. It's
It's
our part
not.
of our
It's
culture
really
now.
not. Do you actually think that the majority of black women are wearing the makeup that y'all are talking about that contour their face?
No, they
No,
Right,
don't.
to
but
look
they
like
ran the weave.
what's the name, Star? Like, no.
What?
They definitely ran the weave, and that makeup stuff is growing.
But here's the thing, JP. Here's the thing. This is how I'm gonna kill you, right? And kill you logically, right?
What?
Because this is why. Because the wig thing, right? Other
Mhm.
races of women wear extensions, okay? A lot of their hair is not as thick as you think it is. They wear wigs. They're even coming in now to go get weaves, okay? So that's number one.
Of their own
Number two,
braided hair, though.
wait. Number
Oh
two,
my fucking god.
you say that black women don't listen to y'all, that y'all don't like it. But the reason why we even have new products out here that the women who do wear wigs and weaves are more natural and more like mimicking the actual natural hair that will come out of a black woman's head, that is because black women are listening. But they still want to go get their hair done. They still want to participate in women's grooming tactics that have been going on to centuries. And it's like what black women are hearing when y'all say this, right? They're hearing that you want to strip a part of the essence of being a woman from away from black women. And that's what they're hearing. Whether or not that's not what you mean, that is what they're hearing. They're hearing like, Dad, we can't be girls though. We can't be girls. We can't play with dolls. We can't like hair. We can't like makeup. We just have to look like a plain Jane. But then y'all,
That's fair enough. Hold on, let me just get this out real quick, Kelly. That's fair enough, MJ. I think the way we transitioned to this conversation was talking about, ironically, trans people and how they're over exaggerated as far as the look. So I think we've been walking on the fine line, and not maybe it gets exacerbated that it's not you can't do any of those things. The original point was when it's something that's so extreme it changes who you are as a person.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Also, MJ, is that I think most men don't care about makeup per se. All of our women probably got makeup in their drawers. All of them. It's we draw the line at the the transformation makeup or the or like I personally look at it as the cartoon wigs. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, I can understand that, but I'm gonna tell you what this. I'm gonna tell you most regular smegular women are not dressing like not dressing like the women that look like trans women, and the ones you're actually talking about with the real like crazy hair and crazy loudish makeup and stuff. Most of the time, they're actually makeup artists. That is their profession, and they have to show how those kind of colors and stuff will look if someone is interested in it, or they're in performance arts. Like you forget about all these other careers as into why things might look dramatic on an individual. You don't take that into consideration. But regular smegular woman is not running around here with purple hair going to the office.
So look, that's what. But see, that's what we're telling you is
that's your point.
But that's what we're telling you. The problem is they are. And we see it more and more often. And what we're telling you when you're sitting here with multiple men on this panel saying that we prefer natural. I don't even care about the argument. I don't care about those other opinions. I'm just telling you how we.
So more while we get down into this thing, they say they prefer natural, and I'm going to tell you that is, I would say, semi-true, right? I think that most men, and eventually they're going to agree with me later on, most men prefer natural looking, right? So it's not necessarily natural because you don't really, because he's going to say that men don't necessarily care about hair, makeup, and all that. And I thought that was quite ironic when you spent 45 minutes policing women's hair and makeup. But nonetheless, he said that they don't care about that. So you don't have an issue with grooming tactics or rituals of women, but you're not fond, or you're not attracted to the new trends of how women are doing their rituals, their grooming rituals, right? So that's the BBLs, the fake lips, the filters, the highly contour nose or contour cheeks, makeup that usually looks better on the runway or in actual professional photos. They don't like makeup that looks like transgender women would wear. And I understood that. I wasn't arguing against their preference. I was just telling them it's the delivery that comes off that it can trigger women. And once that happens, women don't want to be receptive to what you're trying to say to them. Because even before I came on, and everybody, please go to Blktube Network and go review the whole live, there were 3 other women that was on there. And to the point of how these men was expressing themselves, they got so, they got upset and they felt it a little offended that they even ended up leaving the show. So I didn't want Callie Bev up there by herself. So that's why I came up there as another woman voice. But let's go on.
We feel as men, a large percentage of us prefer a natural looking woman, plain and simple. You know how many shirts you get messed up, you go out somewhere and the girl try and hug you. Hey, I ain't seen you. Now you got something on your shirt that ain't gonna come out because they got all this shit caked up on their face that's not necessary. I'm speaking for a majority of men. We don't like it. We don't like all that fake shit. Real talk. You can slice it every way, which way you want. Blame Cosmopolitan for putting that in y'all head back in the 70s and pushing that narrative of looking a certain way and selling y'all that product. That's what it is. Y'all consumers, y'all buy. You think that's the way you do. Y'all should look, and you do it for you. You're not doing it for men. Y'all say y'all do it for yourselves. We could care less about that. I ain't never seen a man go up to a woman and say, damn, them eyelashes look good on you. You know what I'm saying? Damn, I love the way you got that makeup all caked up on your face. Come on, man. Like, it just don't happen.
Okay, so look.
I think the way we would say it is, hey, damn, you're beautiful. Damn, you gorgeous. We wouldn't really nitpick a certain item on her face. to be real.
No. You're missing a point. Nope.
No, I'm not.
I said I ain't never heard a man go up and say, "Damn, I love them eyelashes." You know,
but logically, why it doesn't even make sense to nitpick a certain item on her face that is a part of her makeup.
Because it doesn't mean anything to us. We don't.
Yeah, but when we compliment a woman, we don't even typically pick items out and compliment it. We just compliment. Kelly, have you ever heard a man say, "Damn, I like the way your scarf is," or some shit like that? We usually just say, "You're beautiful. How are you? You look nice."
So you mean to tell me a man ain't never said, "I like your hair"?
No,
I mean,
if he's
said, I like your skin. I like your hair.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
I like your hat. You know,
they
have said that. But what he's saying is really true. Most of the time, when y'all do compliment women, y'all compliment them in totality. If they look nice and fresh to death, right then and there, damn, you look good, you look beautiful, lady. Da 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 da. That's what usually happens. And sometimes when y'all talk about, oh, I like your hat, or I like your whatever, your shoes or something like that, or I like your dress. That is just a what is it? A conversation starter per se. That's usually how you get a conversation going.
So I have a guess. So let me see if this is true. Truth, is this you? Can you cut on your camera real quick, sir? So I could just see that it's you. Real quick. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Let's see. How are you, sir?
Good day, ma'am. How are you?
I've been okay. Thank you for asking. So I know you wanted to speak to me for a moment, and I don't want you to lose your thoughts. So yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna just run through this real quick, and I'm gonna let you get right back, because this is actually a very very important conversation, and I'm glad that you had a chance to go back and remember and highlight it, because I think it shows the actual beginning of why we have these failed relationships. We're starting out dishonestly. Why? I think you even asked the question, why are you even attempting to interact with a woman that you clearly have a different preference for who she is? So if you don't like a woman that wears makeup, fake hair, those nails, if she dresses provocatively, why essentially are you going to engage with said woman?
Right.
So right there, that shows that clearly you're starting off with, you're not even looking for longevity. You're starting off for instant gratification. Obviously, something you're seeing has either attracted you in some, more than likely, some sexual manner, whatever that is.
You know what's so funny, Truth? Later on down, when you get a chance, when I finish the video, later on down in the road, the men on the panel are actually going to admit that now when they approach women by from bottom to up. So they look at the aesthetic of her body first, even before they even get to look at her face or pay attention to her clothing and things that I saw. So this is now their mating ritual of how they're identifying to approach said women. And that is what's actually kind of causing them the problem, right? Because yes, a woman might have a very aesthetic, curvaceous body. That doesn't make her a good mother. That doesn't make her a good partner. That doesn't mean that she's intelligent. That doesn't mean she has emotional intelligence. That doesn't mean anything, right? So we're seeing it on both sides, because this is not only just a man thing, right? Us women do the same thing too sometimes, right? And then they're also leaving out the small factor is that people are pretending to be who they're not. There's a big case of putting your best representation first, and those people are not really necessarily who they say they are originally. And it's not until trial and error where you learn that this individual is not who they say they are. So I'm not saying that that doesn't happen all the time. I'm not saying that women and men don't have beer flavored goggle glasses on, or they just only see what they want and they miss everything else. That's what the whole red flag concept is. I'm just saying that there's so many different elements that could have been brought to the conversation, and we could have really got a breakthrough if we would just go, if we would just step away from our biases and always trying to be right and just actually paying attention to what we're saying.
Correct. I think what happens is most of the time we're speaking past each other. And the first thing, if I was them, I would have appreciated your honesty about you said, hey, as for me, as for the type of woman that I am not going to engage with a man that if I notice he has on Jordans. A lot of times because we are not intellectually sound, we don't understand communication is not just verbal. It's also in the way you dress. And it tells you a lot of different things about who you are, your thought process, your mindset, where you're going. Like we notice most people that dress formal, they either, probably on their way to an office job or just got out of a meeting. And you can tell these things in passing. Or where they go sit down to, have a cup of coffee. Most business people, where do they attend to? They go to, what is it, Starbucks, have their computer, their phone, and everything like that. So everything is along the premise of communication. So if I notice that a woman is, dressed in a certain type of way, and naturally it will then communicate something for me. Now, unfairly, probably not, but it will communicate something that I will start looking at if, I start tapping into my memory banks of, past relationships or women I have interacted with, how they dress, the way they look, they spoke, the way they walk, whether she had heels on, the length of her nails, all those things communicate something. So if I know naturally, my preference, my standard is I do not want a woman that is not natural. That is a woman that's not for me. That doesn't mean she's a horrible woman. That means that woman is not for me because naturally that is in some form unattractive to me. And because I'm getting away from the the provocative and the perverse attraction, that deals with sensuality and sexuality. I'm trying to actually get to know her because, like you said, I'm looking for longevity. I'm looking for marriage. I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for mother. So certain tells start leaning me towards that. If I see that, more than likely, it don't translate that for me. So I'm not even going to that. What happens is then, you stated this earlier, why are we wasting each other time? You see what I'm saying?
Agree.
So going into a relationship with a woman that you, based off your preference, you really don't want. So naturally, you're really not going to put the type of effort you would to a woman that you aesthetically want. You're not going to give certain type of things. You're not going to give a certain type of respect level. You're going to handle it a certain type of way. A lot of things are going to be rushed because now you have a agenda or a motive you're trying to get out of her instead of actually trying to get to know that person. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense because it becomes it becomes a desire versus is actually working for the plan that you actually want, right? Because the plan that you actually want is always going to be consistent work.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're trying to get that early gratification that you was just saying earlier, there's no real work. It's just fine. It's trying to just find the easy avenue. It's just, the easiest road to get to the end goal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening. You're getting to these end goals, men and women, they whatever it is. If the woman wants the bag, if the man wants they want access to this woman sexually or a child from this woman, whatever it is. Once you get to the end goal so fast, what happened? You're not satisfied.
Correct.
You're not satisfied at all because you didn't really even experience the process and be grateful with the process to get to the end goal. And we're seeing it all the time. And it's is not helping our situation. So I was just giving the suggestion of letting them know how it is perceived to Black women. A lot of them don't believe Black women are not listening to them. We are listening to you. But the simple fact is, if that once your criticism turns into just bashing them, then you wouldn't want to listen to someone who's disrespecting you every single day or trying to put down your self-esteem. You know, you're going to turn your ears off, and then now you're not going to get that information. That was all I was trying to explain to them. The way how you deliver even good advice is important, and mature men know how to do that.
Correct. Correct. And especially if you actually care.
Oh yeah, that's one of the biggest components, right? That's definitely one of the biggest components, because you know, if you don't care, then yeah, you're not going to care about the delivery. You're not going to care how the person takes in that information, or you really don't even care if they even took in the information. You just had to say whatever you wanted to say out your mouth.
And that's what I think a lot of the guys is not understanding, that you guys are listening to us. The problem is we're not listening to ourselves the way we are conveying the message, and it's giving off that, yeah, you're saying these things, but you don't care. This isn't love. This isn't correction. This is, yeah, like how y'all said, bashing. You know, you just put me down. You don't even want me, but you want to talk about what I am.
Right. And one of the things that was said in this panel, I told them that, listen, women are listening to you, because at the point, men were saying that they don't like the wigs and the weave because there are European texture. This is not the hair texture or the type that grows out of your hair. So if you would look at women's products today, a lot of it is more natural based. It mimics the texture of Black African-American women's hair, right? So it can look more natural and more fitting for their body type and their features. That is not even taken into consideration. You know, if we live in a society where the European standard is the beauty standard, and anything that acquiesces to that is okay, especially when it comes into the workplace, now into schools and stuff like that. I mean, women had to fight for the Crown Act, so their natural hair or children's natural hair wouldn't be deemed unruly, unprofessional, or the poor children who play sports where their coaches and them are cutting their locks or their hair or their braids and stuff like that, and threatening them that they're not going to participate in the game because they don't feel that your hair is proper or is not professional to play this sport. Like, you're undoing so many different steps that we, not only just us as Black women, but also Black men, for us, our hair, how it grows out our head, not to seem unprofessional, not to seem unruly, you don't know how many things that's by the way that they're saying things, and something that's unique to our culture, you're demonizing it too. So again, if you think that if you want to demonize it in that way, then when other people demonize that the hair that grows out your head is unprofessional, unruly, and it has no place in the society, are we really going to get upset now? Are we really going to get mad? When the better solution is the ones who are dressed in a way that is unruly or not professional or not the right manner that you would like to see. Do not give no attention to them. Do not join in relationship or union with them. Leave them alone. And if they want to change and they like, dag, obviously who I am or how I address or express myself is not what it is, they will either have two options. They just don't care and continue on, or they change. But now this is a change that they want it to occur, not something that is forced. And when you force something on someone, that has a temporary span. And correct. I don't think people realize that it has a temporary span to force someone. You're not putting someone in a chokehold for 24/7, right? That doesn't happen. So it's not going to last long. You're going to have to still deal with that problem, still deal with that issue going forward. I'm all about eliminating that issue. If you have a woman who wears her hair natural because she always been natural, that's her thing, and she loves natural hair, and you align with her, you don't have to worry about this woman not wearing her natural hair because she's all for it. You know what I'm saying? She's all for it. So that puts less stress on the man having to worry about whether or not his woman has her shit together, and you can focus on real things that you're supposed to be focusing on as men.
Yep. And essentially what I notice is things that we are doing is confusing the hell out of y'all. And at first I thought when I heard women saying these things, I kind of shrugged it off. I thought it was like just like something to cop out to, saying, oh yeah, y'all confusing us, do you want this or do you want that? And then I'm saying, well, you know what we want. We keep saying that we want these things, but then I realized my own logic says differently, because I do not say things that I don't do. So if I actually like something, I like that, and then I interact with that. If I don't like it, then I don't interact with it. If I don't like said woman, I won't even touch her sexually. But the problem is, majority of guys are touching the things that they don't like in a sexual gratifying manner, and it's confusing the hell out of y'all. So we're wondering what's promoting you guys to wear these things and not appreciate who you are aesthetically naturally. It's really
definitely a miscommunication, and I will tell you that it is mixed. It's mixed communication, mixed feelings, right? Because men will say online, hey, we don't like this type of women. But who are the most popular women in social media? Who is making money? Who is being flown out? Who are we talking about? I don't see the average going church woman or the church lady or the librarian or the women who have small channels who's talking about wholesome things or home ed or how to cook and things like those women are not having 100,000 to 1 million subscribers. The women who are having 100,000 and million subscribers are the sexy res, the OnlyFans girls, the whatever podcast girls. Those are the ones who are having all these followings, getting all these resources, being able to be flown out and stuff like that. So it is mixed signals what women are seeing. Your words are not matching your actions. So it sounds nice, right? You say things that sounds nice, that this is what you're supposed to like, this is what you're supposed to want, but truly in your heart's desire, that is not what you want.
Bingo. And the problem with that is we claim to be leaders. And you know this as a person that's been in a position of leadership for a considerable amount of time. Leaders are not supposed to convey confusion. And that's what we have been doing. We have been conveying confusion. And, in my father's word, confusion is the offer of the devil. It's not going to lead to anything good.
Yes, it really doesn't. It's very similar to the idle hands.
Yes. Yep.
Very similar. Very, very similar.
So I'm going to let you get back to this. I'm going to drop back down and then give some more.
Thank you very much, sir, for conveying your thoughts. I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And to be honest with you, to take it a step further, a lot of men these days, and this might be surprising to you, Law, but a lot of men these days really focus on a bottom-up approach. They start at the thighs and the hips and the butt cheeks and all that stuff before they even get to the face. I have seen men walk out of the club, out of restaurants, and choose women that had a more appealing and more attractive body over her makeup and face.
You're missing it, but that's missing the point. I'm not talking about none of that. What I'm saying is no man goes up to a woman caring about her eyelashes. You're not doing that for us. You're doing that for you. Trust me. You think I don't know men look at the body first? That's besides the point. That has nothing to do with my point. My point was solely the fact of those things don't necessarily matter to us. Plain and simple.
So
all that makeup, I'm talking about right here.
Cartoonish. Back to what Sweetie's point was about 45 minutes ago. Y'all only care if it looks cartoonish. Y'all niggas can barely tell if we wearing mascara. If she's not buying lashes from the beauty supply store and she goes and gets them professionally done, you halfway can't even tell that she has on fake eyelashes because she got them done right. You would think that she probably just has on some mascara. So,
which would make it unnecessary. It goes back
to it's not really necessary. It's not a problem.
Y'all can't tell. Y'all can't tell.
It's not unnecessary.
Because we don't care.
Y'all can't tell.
Because we don't care.
So we
you don't care about the whole point is y'all don't care about it being fake, as what JP's point was before.
We don't care
about
because it doesn't enhance anything. Is what I said.
It does. Actually,
you don't care. You don't care about it being fake. You care if it looks cartoonish.
Law.
That's basically it.
Right. Makeup and
that's not.
Listen. It actually does. I'm gonna be honest with you. Eyelashes do enhance a woman's eyes.
Yes, it does.
It does. Like,
make them look pretty as hell.
Yeah, there's a reason why. If you ever watch like cartoons and stuff,
Betty Boop,
the very first thing that they hyper focus on is how the eyelashes accent the eyes. Even like certain makeup, it accents certain things. The way when they draw along their line, it gives their lips volume. When they add a little more hair, it gives their hair volume that stands off of their end. Those things are naturally, like if you look at it naturally, if a man was to
when they take that shit off,
J Prince, I don't need you co-signing.
No, I'm with you when they take.
I know you're with me, but let me get this out. No, I don't need the ad libs. Let me get this out. If a man had a choice between a woman who had nice long natural eyelashes, nice full thick hair, a nice 8 Coke bottle figure, he would choose her over the girl that had short eyelashes with with thin hair and a skinny body, because that's what we're like.
Prime example. All right, I got you right.
Let me get this out to
Callie,
MJ.
Hold on. Callie, let me ask you this, Callie. You got on any lashes or anything right now?
No.
Exactly, and don't need them. That's not that is the point. Is what my whole point was, that they don't need them. Is what
I'm telling you.
Though. The point was that the fact that you had to ask her. She's making a point that you wouldn't even know. She'd know, but you wouldn't know. And you confirmed that by the asking her. You had to make sure.
I knew she didn't. I I was making a point. I can look at her. I'm looking right at her.
Why did you ask her? Did you have him on then?
He was just asking her,
making a point. So when she says no, you know exactly what I mean. She doesn't need them, right? You did. Right. That's not going to change a man approaching her. Plain. I
wish you would lie right now.
I do have them. I got a question though. I got a question for you though, Lau. If her eyelashes were short, I bet you her eyes would look different.
But they're not.
That's what I'm saying though. A lot of women buy eyelashes because it lengthens their eyelashes. The same reason why they used to use mascara. Is it mascara? The one that's the reason why they use that, so it extend the length of their eyelashes, because it accents the eyes. So if she has,
all we saying to MJ and Callie, right? All we saying is, have y'all ever met men that always wear a cap every time you see him, and y'all be like, before I say this man fine or whatever, he got to take that cap off. Y'all be like, take off the cap.
MJ, don't you do that?
We basically telling y'all to take off y'all cap so we can see what y'all really working with, not some stuff that y'all just painting on. And to Law's point,
I understand what you're saying. Listen, I'm okay. Listen, I don't like the extreme makeup either, right? Y'all see me with makeup, and sometimes I come online without makeup, right? I do believe in makeup that accentuates the beauty that you have. All I'm just saying is that stop going so hard on women on their grooming tactics. It's weird. It's so weird, especially if you're going to pick a woman that probably is not going to look like those cartoonish women. You're already saying that you don't like that type of woman. And if you see that woman like that every single day, most likely you're not going to date her. So it should be no problems at this point.
But so in other words, we should not have an opinion on women.
This is my real quick, Law. This is
my have an opinion, but But you gotta understand, there's men out there that's gonna date those women that you don't like.
But hey,
hold on once, Bruce. When you look at Kelly Bev, right? We have known Kelly Bev to be natural for so many years on these platforms, right? If she wished to go out there and put on something fake and stuff, it would kind of upset everybody. She would not look the same because we have got used to her natural look.
Would you know that?
No, we have got used to seeing Kelly looking so natural. We know her natural look.
You think if she changed her look,
something totally different?
We saw Callie Bev went out one time and she had on a
And
nice little mascara on, and maybe a nice little lip gloss on, and everybody said that she looked beautiful.
Right.
And she still looked exactly the same that she looks now. It was just more polished.
Look at her picture.
She had on a certain
Can't y'all tell?
So what's the problem?
That picture she got right there do not
look at that one.
She talking about that night. That's what she's talking about.
Exactly. And she still looks like Callie Bev, but
she do not.
Yes, she do.
Yes, she does.
Oh my God. She looking like an AI character.
She do not.
No,
JP, stop playing.
No, she don't.
Now you bullshitting.
You reaching now.
Well, we full. Come on, man, bro. If she came up here, if she
tell the truth, man.
JP, ain't no way that we would collectively look at Callie Bev.
JP, at your wedding,
she does.
My sis Flora had on very nice minimal makeup, and it enhanced her nice, beautiful.
We actually got into a serious argument about that.
Oh, all right. JP just want a windmill.
I think JP just want smoke tonight.
I just want a windmill. Oh my God.
Hold on, wait. No. I'm gonna ask it this way. If Callie Bev showed up in a room full of most of the men that we have,
right,
in general, and she just had on some enhancing makeup, didn't really change, or she may have wore a curly wig that they braided up her and put something different in her hair, and she wore this, and she chose a different dress and put on some heels, and she walked into a room, we would all look at her and be like, nah, bitch, you look way different than you used to. You kind of ugly right now. Are you saying that's how we would all look at it?
I think so, because we have got used to her sitting like this. Now we have seen we have seen women that presented first impressions. Y'all always say first impressions. That's what people believe about you. So we have seen women that came on here with the makeup and stuff like that. If they wish to go natural, we might say that they ugly, because this is what we used to seeing. I don't necessarily would say that we say they ugly. It just will be a different type of look. Well, like the same thing when y'all was saying about, it was a couple females that used to come up here with all the painted face. Then one day they went natural, and everybody started talking about them and like, damn, she looked 30 times different. It's just a different. Was it worse or better? If I come on here with some light makeup, the same makeup, because men in Hollywood actually do put on makeup. Let's make that very clear. So what if I come on this piece, put on some makeup? I'm talking about looking dear dapper. Give me the JR beard. If people that don't know me won't know who I ain't never had that beard.
JR beard.
Hey, Callie Bev, can you put a picture?
No, don't just gloss over that, Sweeney.
No, because you talking about you talking about transformative makeup. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about she came in, and for the most part, it was natural. It fit what she already is. It just enhances her. Would we all sit here and be like, if she changed her hairstyle?
That word enhancing is triggering to me, because the reason why it's triggering to me, because as a black man, I don't put on enhancers because I already have confidence in myself. Nothing can enhance my looks. I'm comfortable with my looks.
Are you saying you wouldn't want to be taller?
Hold on.
I'm 6'3.5".
You enhanced your locks, sir. You have fake locks. You enhanced your locks.
So when you say that, are you telling me for your wedding you didn't have a little hair enhancements added to your hairline?
No.
Pull up the picture. I want to see it. What's your name on? Because trust me, I know it when I see it.
Listen, I didn't even have.
I know it when I see it. What's your name on Instagram?
What's
your name on Instagram?
J Prince 4535. I didn't even have my hair cut.
Well, JP, why did you cut off? Why did you cut off your?
Well, you let ID give you a random name, bro?
I cut off my locks because I was already because it was tearing up, ripping and stuff. And then when Flores said, "Oh, you woo out the bam like this," she liked it. She seen some pictures when I had my low haircut. Woo out the bam. She just helped encourage because I was afraid to do. I've been wanting to cut it off 2 years previous, but I just felt I needed some booster to help me get it cut off because I wasn't gonna really do it because I got attached to it.
So you only wanted to cut off your locks because they were starting to shred?
Not shred. In fact, it was thinning out my hair and it was ripping. I had to keep getting it every time I get it retwist. I had to keep getting it sewed in because it was some of my wicks because the wicks is thick and my hair texture is real fine. It can't take all that weight like Kelly hair. My hair can't take all that weight because it's real thin. As for my hair is extremely thin.
Okay.
Do you let your daughters wear fake hair?
Since I was a baby.
Do you let your daughters wear fake hair?
Huh?
Do you let your daughters wear fake hair?
Yes, it's part of the culture.
Oh,
yeah. Why? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying earlier. It became the reason why I would let my daughter do it because I was told that it grows your hair. It grows the little girl's hair. That's why. And I don't know what to do here.
All right, so that is it. Hold on, let me stop sharing my screen. I gotta pause this. Okay, so before I show you the comments, because you remember I wanted you to see the chat. Please tell me, anyone, please tell me anything that was disrespectful. Please tell me anything where I brung up anybody to use as examples as into whatever I was discussing. Please tell me where I was policing men on how they I guess how they wear their clothes and what they find that is attractive and stuff. Like, please tell me that I was doing anything that would be deemed disrespectful to the men on the panels or anything. Just let me know. And I'm okay about hearing your opinions. That's why I'm asking you. If I said something that was off, not cool, or hypocritical, you can place it in the chat. Because like I said, I'm all about growing. I'm all about hearing people's opinions, and I don't have all the answers, and I never came up here acting like I did have all the answers. So if I did something that was alarming, something that could have been triggering to anybody, just let me know. Because I mean, for me, I didn't think I did, but if I did, and if you was offended by anything I said, just let me know. So I will be a little bit more mindful. We're a class at this policeman channel. Hey, Asini, and shout out to her. She sent the super chat yesterday. I didn't get a chance to read it, love, on Lapeef's channel because he decided not to read the super chats because some of them was very disrespectful. And like I said, I appreciate Lapeef for, I would say in that moment, just make sure that the respect of the people and the panelists, or all the people on the panelists were respected, and kept the comments on in the comment section, kept the super chats, not displaying them. I appreciate that, right? So now I'm going to show you what was going on in the chat while all that was happening. So let me pull up Exhibit A. All right. So here is the first one that I was able to get clips of. Shout out to my family and coworkers and people who definitely comes over and supports and watch me. Truth, I'll let you up after I finish showing the comments. Only because we tend to know how the space is, right? you give your thoughts, and people start to attack you, and I don't want that. So I'll bring you up after the comments, okay? Thank you. I want to keep anybody safe and not, keep going on with this child high school shit. I don't want that to happen anymore. So I'm respecting, and I'm also going to protect my viewers too. Okay, so as you see, this guy sent a super chat saying, I promise you, MJ ate box. Most with locks eat box. Now, I don't know who this guy is, Billy Go Gruff, but apparently he knows me, or if he's assuming that he knows me, right? Let's see. Let's go to another one. Exhibit B. So, MJ dated and tried to change Daryl. Why you try to get people to change their perspective of you? What standard do you have when you dated Daryl long, even after Masturbate Gate? How you policing men? So, again, didn't bring up anybody, didn't reference anybody, stood on topic. But these are the comments that, instead of people focusing on the actual conversation, they're more concerned of having a aha moment. And they will actually spend money to have an aha moment and to bring something that was not even in that network. That the people in that network don't come to this other side of the sector. So they had no knowings of any of this. But let's follow an individual, and not just, just regularly just participate in the conversation. Let's follow and let's be messy. Let's be messy. Funny thing is, I have never said anything bad or disrespectful to Ilkan Ali. However, he felt that it was his need to spend his $10 and to let everybody know that I dated Daryl, right? And here's the thing, world class. No, I did not try to change Daryl. Okay? I didn't try to change Daryl. What I was doing was trying to have Daryl stand on the things that he said that he was going to do, and that he said who he was initially. That wasn't me trying to change him. There's a difference. So let's go to Exhibit C. Boom. So this one is not as clear, but we have a lot of people in here saying a lot of stuff. So let me see if I can maximize it a little bit, actually. As you can see, you have this person named Machine2 saying, remember, she dated the Pookie in Detroit, Daryl Long. Don't know who the hell this person is. Then it's, oh, MJ, shut up. I don't care about that. Then you have someone who has a control account of PH Diva saying PH Doofus, saying she goofy. Then you have our Portugal brother. She dated Daryl Long. She has no standards. She's capping. Okay. Interesting. All right. Let's see if I can show y'all guys another one. Exhibit D. So these are really small, but I'm going to read them off to you. So yes. So in the chat, you have pretty much we'll just put it like this, because this is really even small for me, and I don't even have my glasses. But we literally have people come into the chat and they decide that they want to let everybody know in the chat that I dated an individual. This person is deemed all these things, and that I have no say so in this conversation due to the simple fact that I was in a relationship with him, and even the whole falling out and so and so. And I'm going to just address this, right? You have your opinions. That's fine. Have your opinions. But it's very childish and unnecessary to continue to bring up something that is like almost a month ago, right? Almost 2 months ago. Yeah. And on top of that, you're bringing it to somebody else's channel who did not ask for or did not need that information. So what you're doing is being messy. The same things that you will complain about women. You're being messy, you're being gossipy, you're carrying the bone, you're being instigators. You didn't have to say any of those things that were said. You could have still made your comments about what I spoke about on that panel. But the simple fact is that you chose not to. You also did not even pay attention to what I was saying. If I said that if you're 40 years old and I see you in Jordans, you're not going to be in my line of me trying to talk to you. Was the person I recently was dating, is he 40? Or was he younger than me? And also, because I was dating this individual, I knew that there's some certain things that he was not able to buy. Obviously, that wasn't a deal breaker for me. Right? Those are the graces that I gave. That wasn't deal breakers to still try to get to know an individual. So again, what was the whole purpose of you bringing that to that space if it wasn't to just have a aha moment and to be messy, catty, nasty, and very immature? There was no other reason for that. None. It's funny because the same individuals who went and did that, after even everything that happened and transpired in the last relationship that I had, I have always kept my composure with you. Even when you was in my chat, I still showed some cordial and some respect for you after everything that you have done. And you take my respect as weakness. That's a problem. That's a very big problem. But I wanted to show you guys exactly what our young men have to look forward to. Please have a round of applause for what our young men's examples of manhood on this platform looks like. A round of applause. Congratulations. Oh, also, the individual also said that MJ without makeup is ugly. And it was so, and the funny thing that person said that is because they take awkward photos of you and then they paint the narrative. There was another thing I wanted to show you guys. let me show you. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So I'm ugly without makeup. I'm glad that the person who said that believes that, because that should mean that you should stay away from me, right? This was me on Lapeef about 7 days ago. I didn't have any makeup on. Not one. Just some little lip gloss.
Because
oh, hold on. Let's see. Let me know if y'all can hear it. You should still be. Here we go.
I mean, at least the way I was raised is I do believe that the Bible was inspired by God, not written by God. Therefore, it's subject to human error. So being that said, there's a lot of focus on the New Testament where you can finesse a lot of the scriptures in there to fit a personal agenda. And from my experience, the heavy hitter Bible thumpers will find a way to make it applicable to any situation. And they don't want to entertain a different thought process or different background. So I think that's where, Shan, your point came in when dating. If you're meeting someone who's heavily religious, that's kind of the behavior that they exhibit. So I would agree with that.
But that's at the same time, that's just having standards, though, right?
According to whatever scripture they're trying to finesse to meet the situation, right?
Well, yeah, would that still be considered having a standard, though?
A standard set in stone or work in progress. I think that would be the difference. I think it's fine to have that standard, but as long as you're willing to work through it with whatever partner, I think that's the biggest difference. When you put that wall up and say, no, this scripture means this, third, then that's when it's like, oh, here we go. Like, no. So that's where I see where he's coming from. And those things can be vetted out when you're dating people to see if that's how they move, right?
That's right.
I don't like putting up with that either. If you can't have a conversation with me about this scripture and what you think it means and how you want to apply it to your life and this and that, then yeah.
What are you about to say, MJ?
No, I was gonna say that we do tend to see a lot of hypocrisy when it comes down to Bible thumpers, right? On men and women, they will both use the scriptures for certain things that will basically make the relationship or the marriage that they want go smoothly, but then when they're outside of that, you could tell that they don't follow any other scriptures behind that, right? Or they don't read the 3-4 other scriptures that's below the one that they actually start to represent, or they approach it to their significant other and mates. And it's I do say that it is a human nature, because like I said, we do that with regular rules and stuff like that, even outside of with the Bible situation. But we do tend to see that with the Bible situation, it comes with more judgment. It comes with more, I'm the person that's supposed to give you judgment and give you punishment, because of that. And I'm going to be leading with the Bible, because the Bible said told me I can do it, right? And I think it does definitely cause problems, right? Because then now it's like, if your partner can see that there was something that you didn't do that wasn't necessarily aligned with what the Bible said, and now that they question and challenge you on it, then there's the confrontation, because it's like, no, I'm in the role of judgment, judge, jury, and I'm supposed to give down the law, and now you cannot question me, or now you cannot challenge me on something that I'm doing, because you're trying to scapegoat out of dealing with the consequences of being called out, right? And then I think that that's where a lot of the arguments come in, because a lot of people think when you're challenging them, or you're trying to bring up another scenario where they probably didn't act in the best light, everybody think that you're trying to excuse yourself out of dealing with the accountability and the consequences. So.
Go ahead, Cookie. Yeah.
So as you see, I don't even have any makeup on. I don't. Yeah, but nonetheless, that is people's decision to believe that I am unattractive without makeup. That's okay. I'm down with that. I'm actually very, very, very down with that. So please keep it up. Thank you. And that will have more reason for you not to, be around me. Right. All right. So let's see. So I just wanted to show you guys that this is what's happening. This is a part. Yeah, exactly, Robin. I literally look the same because I barely wear any makeup. I don't even wear foundation. I wear like what do you call that light thing that you put over your face? What is it called? Oh my God, I forgot what it's called, but the ladies know what I'm talking about. I really don't even wear foundation or anything like that. I might do a little mascara. Sometimes I put on an eye and I do lips. That's about it. So yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. Oh, that's it. All right, so I do have one more video for you guys. One more video. Like I told you, it's not going to be a really long live. You are in here. It's 1:40. Please hit the like, comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Yes, exactly, Robin. Yes, I do. I wear concealer. Absolutely. That's exactly what I wear. I wear concealer. Absolutely. That's what I wear. Yeah, I completely forgot. Oh my God, brain fart, completely forgot. I heard. Oh my God, I didn't know Truth is here. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Truth. Hello, sir. Are you still there? I'm sorry. I didn't realize that you was in the back.
Yes, ma'am. It's all good. Yeah, I wanted to not comment on the what is it, the chat, or so to speak. All I would say is about that. Sorry that you're actually going to go through that type of stuff for a while.
Yeah.
As we see, the space is very unforgiving.
Yes, I know. It's understandable. Like I said, people are going to have their comments and things of that sort, and it is what it is. But should be a certain level of maturity, right? Because one of the biggest things that is said in this space is stop telling people who they can be friends with. Stop trying to stop people from networking. Stop trying to stop people from making making money. You know what I'm saying? These are always said in the space. So when I'm going to a space that I was invited into, because one of the comments was, oh, she's running around town trying to look for friends and stuff. I'm sorry to offend you, but I'm not. I am actually being sought out and invited to come on said panels and come on said channels. I'm sorry that's not happening for you. I'm sorry that you have to just show up, but that's not what's happening to me. I'm actually being reached out professionally. Can you come? So like, it is what it is. Hopefully the maturity will come back into the space, because it's not helping us. It's not helping anybody's channels. And beef situations or internet beef or dragging someone, all those type of views and the money that you get for that is very temporary, and eventually people will get tired. So focus on your true craft, whatever that is, and build from there. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. So what I wanted to, and then I'm gonna let you get right back into your show again. Because what you stated earlier about the I guess you would say the observational markers that we do, we work our way from the bottom up.
Mm-hmm.
And I notice that as well. Now, once again, this is a lot of things that separate me a lot from a lot of the guys in this space, because I've had a lot of conversations with them as far as when they even look at women. A lot of guys say the automatic thing that hits their mind is, perversion and sexuality. That's automatically, as soon as they see a woman, That's what happens. And what I try to tell them, that can be very problematic, that you're not even, identifying the woman. And then for observational purposes, you're not even seeing if the woman is, I guess, visually attractive, facially wise, and then if she's even attracted to you initially based off her eye contact. For guys that actually deal with women, you can usually tell if she's attracted to you through her eyes, and scientists and doctors will tell you if a woman is attracted to you, her pupils actually dilate. So that's something. If you pay attention to those things, these are little cues. Her holding her head down, so on and so forth. It's a lot of different things. So a lot of things that's been getting us in trouble also is by us looking at you guys from behind. So I've had conversations with other guys in these spaces too, and this is very problematic as well, because how can you identify? And I don't like to go here, but this can be problematic too. How can you identify the actual maturity of said female? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because of a lot of times, young ladies are getting, developing early. And if you're being just perverse and, your mindset is, promiscuous and perverting those type of things, you're not even going to try to identify whether or not that girl is mature enough to be even dealing with you or of age. And then now that causes a whole nother problem. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true, because the bad thing about it is, with the type of food and the hormones and the processed food that we have, our younger girls are more developed, or they're developing earlier on than even my generation was developed, right? Like when we was 12 and 13 years old, we looked at like 12 and 13 years olds. Now you can literally see 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds that look like they're in their 20s, and it doesn't help when it comes to prom season. Their attire is of a very grown adult woman, so that can cause problems where you're only dealing with the physicality or the physical aesthetics of a woman.
Yes.
And unless you're doing your due diligence and making sure that that is actually a woman. Now, since part of the conversation that the men were having a complaint about is that now they have to ask for birth certificates.
Yes. Yeah.
They have to ask for birth certificates, and you have to actually have the conversation. Excuse me, beautiful woman. Did you so happen to be born a man? You have to ask those conversations now, so again, yeah, I don't think it's a really good mating strategy. It's some, like you said, it's not something long term. It's very temporary, and not everybody body's going to be the same, especially when they get older. And we all know that not every woman bounces back to the body they had after bearing your children. Some can bounce back that way, and some have a different another beautiful figure to appreciate, right? Correct. So it's hard. It's not really good. It's not a really good mating strategy for men. And obviously y'all always pinpoint all the terrible mating strategies that us women that we have.
Right.
We just gotta do better.
Yeah, and it's again, it's making us look bad out here. It's really making us look bad, because again, you got that problem, and then like you said about whether or not this said individual is actually naturally born woman. So now your perversion is taking you to the point where you're going to involve yourself with something you really don't want to deal with. And that's why we truly do have to get out of this mindset of this, lustful and lasciviousness nature, and this perverse nature, and get back to what are we actually here for? And that's the problem. If you're here for, pleasure and self gratification, instant gratification, then that's always going to lead to problematic tendencies. Very rarely have I seen anything that produced longevity start off with, temporary and, selfish, a selfish agenda. Very rarely have I ever seen it. Usually people go through what I call the actual courting and getting to know the individual, actually ingratiating themselves with their family, the family of the individual that they pursuing, going to cookouts, birthday parties, family functions, what is it called? Family reunions. And
right.
see what I'm saying? That's usually where you start to see, oh, this is the gentleman, and then they actually pour you into the family, which makes you feel more, comfortable. And then once you feel that comfortability, it usually also produces relatability, and that usually produces longevity. That usually promotes security for both parties, and then it produces, a level of interest that leads to commitment. Because
You're right.
you see
Oh, excuse me 1 second, sir. I have someone that popped up in the back. I want to make sure that is our brother Brownsville. Brownsville, can you please turn on your camera for me, sir, real quick? I just need to know that is you, sir. If you can hear me. Brownsville, can you turn on your camera, please? No. Are you not gonna? Can you hear me? I'm not sure if he even can. Oh, that is him. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, and here is Brother Brownsville. How are you, sir? And thank you so much for being patient with me. True.
Oh no doubt. What's going on, Brownsville?
Peace and love, my brother. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right, peace and love, man. First of all, let me take my shoes off before I come into the room. Peace and love to the beautiful queen, MJ. Peace and love to the beautiful queens in the chat. Robin M, talking to Kinfolk, Genesis, Natasha, Vincent, all the queens, man. Just like I told y'all, every time I come on this platform, I'm going to make it my business to lift y'all up, give y'all flowers, and show these men, show these knuckleheads how they should be addressing the queens, the ladies, the women on this app, man. Peace and love.
Oh, thank you so much, Brownfield. I appreciate it. I don't know how much you was able to seen what I was talking about today or the video, but what is your take on the Lost Boys of the sector?
Yeah, hey, can you hear me, Queen?
I can hear you now, sir.
Yeah, so I was listening in, right? And what you're dealing with, and it's unfortunate, and it's also shameful, right? And men need to call this clownish stuff out. You're dealing with weak men, right? You're dealing with men who compete with women, who compare themselves with women, and these men get some type of weird gratification to kicking a woman down or putting a woman down, or what they would say, quote unquote, putting a woman in their place, right? You see, strong men love strong women, right? Strong men gravitate towards strong women. And strong men, they don't get offended. They don't get filled up with pride if a woman is able to articulate a point very well, or if a woman is able to challenge your ideology. You know, strong men, we gravitate towards those type of women, right? I don't want a weak woman around me. I want a strong woman around me. I want my ideas challenged. I want my opinions challenged. I want insight from someone who has a high education level, or someone who has a high degree of spirituality and all of those different kind of things, right? But in this sector, in this space, you have these weak men who they look to kick those women down, and they don't want those type of women to be able to share their opinions and their ideas on this space, because these men, they have these overinflated egos, whether it's due to their own lack of confidence, whether it's due to their own lack of self-esteem, or whether it's due to their own rejection anxiety or failures that they have experienced in this world outside of the internet, right? So they found a space to come together in the internet, share one another's pains, and then if they see a woman who may resemble a strong woman, right? At least an opinionated woman, if they don't consider them strong, even if they share a strong opinion, they kind of get some type of weird flashback of the same type of women who were rejecting them because they were losers, they were weak, they were lame. Because a woman could spot out in a second when you're on a date with them, if you're trying to compete with them, or if you're trying to compare themselves,
right?
Compare yourself to them, and they're gonna, shun away from that. No woman wants to be in competition with their men, right? But these men have created this type of environment to where that's how they see the relationship world. So that's why you always hear these types of opinions. Well, men make $3,000 more than women, or Black women are the least desired woman on the planet. Crazy opinions like that, that's not factual. Crazy things like that, when you peel back the onion of the $3,000 a month and you do it by a week or you do it by a day, you'll see it's very minuscule, right? And therefore, it shouldn't even be talked about, because when you do have a woman by your side, regardless of how much she's making, you guys are a team and y'all are in this together, right? So it's your salary combined with her salary that's going to build y'all kingdom together and build y'all family together, right? So why are we getting online competing with one another and creating this gender war stuff that it's just very upsetting, man, and it's disappointing that these brothers are doing it, and they can't get out of that type of an illogical mindset, right? They always want to hold over your head maybe some missteps or some bad choices. They don't want to give nobody no grace, right? We all have made mistakes, and we will all continue to make mistakes. That's just a part of life, right?
I agree. It is a part of life. And the funny thing is that most of the people who do have very harsh opinions about whatever probably had made those mistakes before. They might not have made those mistakes at the age that I am, but the funny thing about that, the irony about that it took me 40 years to make that mistake. I was able to go through 40 years without making that type of mistake, but that's not even taken into consideration. I don't have any other past history as into the situation that recently just transpired. I have no history in my dating experience outside of this. This is completely brand new to me. So I think that that's kind of funny how, you can see people in a way, or I would say express, right? Because you don't necessarily know unless I'm actually telling you the truth, and you have to perceive that I'm actually telling you the truth, correct? So whatever I'm perceiving to me, that this is someone who went and got her education. I'm not a serial dater. I haven't never serial dated in my life because of the simple fact that I was always in the books and I was always working. So yes, my dating experience for my age is very low. If that's a If that's a negative on me, then so be it. Let it be a negative. But to understand these things and other accolades and emoluments that I have done in my life, and then now take me with this one situation and crucify me, I understand it's the internet, right? And whatever is I guess whatever is entertaining to them, which is the toxic part, it seems like it is the most entertaining part of this particular sector. Everything else is not as supported, right? Because even before other live streams that I have done things that was strictly within psychology. I have brought up articles and fact checks and proof for some of the things that I would talk about. And those live streams didn't get as many viewership after when it comes down to controversy. So it just shows you the mentality of the space. And for some particular reason, some people said that they came here specifically for that. And that's fine. I would love for you to stay in your realm and not bridge with mine. Stay away from me. I didn't ask you to be here. I don't want you here. You're not welcome. You don't have to even ever have to be bothering me. You don't ever have to talk with me. And you can always click off if you don't want to see me. But this whole thing is that you're bringing yourself into my space. And even then, I'm still being cordial or respectful to you, even from the past things that you have done and said towards me. That is when you're insulting my intelligence and you're also insulting my composure, which I find highly offensive because there's things that I trained so I can deal with certain type of situations like this.
And what I would say to you, Queen, can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
What I would say to you is this, right? Don't let these weak knuckleheads discourage you or run you out of this space or, discredit you to the point to where you're not willing to share your ideas and share your thoughts and share your opinions with the world, right? Because, see, these weak men, right, they get gratification for some strange, weird reason, right? And to me, some of these guys, these Rim brothers, these no good suckers, that's why I came up with the moniker, right? Because in real life, most men, the majority of men don't have this type of warped mindset towards women, right? In our history, especially the history of Black men, right? We have a strong history of lifting our women up. We have a strong history of going in front and taking a bullet, taking a water hose, being the one who, where the buck stops, being the one that's going to carry the heavier burden, right? Being the one that's going to say some nice things, that's going to be complimentary, right? That's, not going to be confrontational with women, right? Because we understand where we need to be competitive at, and that's not with our women, right? If we want to propel ourselves as a community, we need to be competitive with the white man. We need to be competitive against those who are doing better than our community, right? So that we can bridge that gap together, right? And just because our sisters, our queens, our ladies, you guys are educating yourselves and you guys are, making it known that you have an opinion and you have a point of view and you have things to say, right? We should be, applauding that. We should be giving y'all the space to operate in your femininity and in your strength, right? Because Black woman has always been strong. Black woman has always been able to persevere, right? And what I'm saying is, in this space, you're an example of that, right? Because you went through a traumatic relationship publicly online, right? But yet you persevered through, you're still here, you said, hey, I made a mistake. You took accountability for it, and now you're trying to push forward, right?
Yeah.
So I applaud you for your strength and for your courage to say, you know what? I'm not going to let this stop me. I'm not going to let this slow me down. Matter of fact, I'm going to persevere and I'm going to come out of this other side stronger, right?
Right.
You're not allowing a weak man to hinder your growth. And that is commendable, right? But
right.
these no good suckers, these rim brothers, these red pill men, these incel men, and these manosphere men, because for them, they have such a low self-esteem, they can't see it that way for some strange reason, because they're dealing with their own internal issues on the inside. So they get gratification for kicking somebody down and seeing somebody else in pain, right? And so what I'm gonna say to you is ignore them clowns. Don't give them too much of your energy. Yes, acknowledge what's going on, but just don't allow them to change your temperament and change, your trajectory. You continue to march forward, push forward, and share your opinion, share your ideas, because you have a lot of value, right? And that's what they're scared of the most, because they're used to kicking a woman down in a chat and just kicking a woman down on panels of men, right? But as soon as the queens, the ladies, the woman, they're willing to jump on the panels and challenge their ideas and challenge that rimology, right, that they have established on this space. Like I say, they overinflated egos get hindered, right? And they're looking to respond with some type of an attack. And it's shameful, right? And more men need to call this BS out for what it is, right? Why are you attacking the queens, the ladies, the women, when they're not attacking you? Why?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was the argument, that a lot of their aggression and their commentary was because women were attacking them and they were being berated and they were being, cursed out or, talked to disrespectfully. But what a woman as myself and many women, especially in this chat or in this space, will beg to differ, that is, what is the point of being kind and and not disrespectful, respectful or cordial, or minding their manners, minding their tone? What is the point of doing all that if we get the same results?
Right. And a lot of these men, I mean, let's be honest about it, right? They're failures in real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them, they've even suffered through a whole bunch of failed relationships where, like I say, there's some type of rejection anxiety, right? There's something that is hindering them from personally growing, right? And some of these men are even married. And I would like to think the Rim brothers who are married, but yet they still come online to disrespect and denigrate women. Obviously, they're in unhappy marriages, right? Obviously, something is impeding them from seeing the good in women because they can't see the good in their own women, right? And they come into this space and it's a form of trauma bonding. It's a form of, well, hey, I'm dealing with issues, you dealing with issues. Let's just come online and complain and blame everything on the queens, the ladies, the women, right? And what we understand, strong men don't complain. Strong men.
Oh, you cut out a little bit, Brownsville. Are you still there? Oh, okay. So we lost them. But I want to say thank you and shout out for Brother Brownsville for coming in and his insightful and very considerate words. I appreciate you, brother. I really do appreciate you. And I will continue on doing content, doing the things that I like to talk about. Yeah. Definitely. Absolutely. And I would definitely take your advice is just to continue to pay no attention or no mind to individuals who is just so bent out of shape into finding pleasure or having a kink off of just violating and disrespecting individuals, not only just women, not only just myself, just individuals alike. And I'm going to definitely continue to stand against that. But before I let you go, I let you guys go, we have to talk about a few things. So like I said, this is not only necessarily just a man thing. I don't want people to feel that I'm only just talking in reference to only men and their behaviors. We as women, we all know we got our bag of fucked up tricks too, right? And tricks are for kids. And I have always felt that Disney did us a bad business. But when we talk about Disney movies, we always talk about how Disney messed up the woman's mind. I'm going to show you something a little bit different. So let me pull this up. So let's go over the women's first, right? Okay. Let's see. Let's use this one. All right. So let's go over the princesses of Disney. These are the things that if you can't see, I'll read it out to you. But these are the things that all the princesses of Disney kind of taught women, and we still kind of see it happening today. Now you see Ariel, she's beautiful, but guess what? If you really think about it, she changed herself for a guy. Bella, when we love the movie Bella, Beauty and the Beast, Bella was a know-it-all, right? She knew everything. She was a brain. She knew everything. You couldn't tell her anything. When we go with Jasmine, and Jasmine from Aladdin, she was picky. When we go with I think that's Moa, she was demanding, right? She was very headstrong and demanding. She wanted to go out even though her family said no, stay back. We have Pocahontas. She engaged in peer pressure. We had Snow White. Snow White, I mean, this is kind of bad, you know. She was 14 years old and she lived with 7 men. That's a bad example for women, right? Then we have I forgot who she is up there. I really did. I forgot who she is. We have this other princess. Oh, Sleeping Beauty. There you go. Sleeping Beauty. What did she do? Does the one thing she's told not to do. Touch the doggone needle. We have Cinderella. So Cinderella was a gold digger. Then we have, I think, what's her name? I forgot her name, but she's from the movie Brave. She was a threat to herself and others. Then we had Mulan. Mulan was manipulative. You remember? She hid herself as a man, right? Then we have I think that's the one with the long hair. Yeah, I think I forgot her name, but the one with the long, Rapunzel. So Rapunzel was naive. Well, you know what? Sometimes I've been naive. So here we go. And then we have, last but not least, we have Tiara. She was stubborn. So, you know, there is things that us women and girls, young girls, picked up in Disney movies that we was never paying attention to. Certain things that men or even sometimes our own family members had a problem with. But yes, Disney definitely did a number on children, period. And they're still doing it today. Oh, but just you wait. I'm not done. This was the women. It's now time for the men. I got something for you guys. Here we go. Disney sets the standards low for men. Let's check out the male princesses. Princess. So here we go. Aladdin was a compulsive liar. Okay, the prince from Cinderella, he wanted a trophy wife. The prince from Rapunzel was a wanted thief. You even have, what is that? What is his name? Tarzan. Tarzan was possibly insane. Then we had the other prince. I forgot what movie that he was in, but he thinks he's a god. You had the beast himself, verbally abusive and violent. We have the prince from Sleeping Beauty. He was somnophiliac. Yeah, like, dude, why are you going in the woods to go kiss a corpse? Can we say necromonger? Like, seriously. And we have Peter Pan and the Lost Boys. Big egos with tiny daggers. Then we had the prince or the chief from Milan. He was pissed off that Milan wasn't a man. Then we had the prince from The Prince and the Frog. He wouldn't get a job. God damn. Then we have Hercules. Hercules likes his ride more than you. That is so true. He was more into Pegasus than the chick in the movie. Then we had John Smith from Pocahontas. Let's see what it says. Dang, I can't even read it. I gotta maximize it. Hold on, let's see. Oh, him and his buddies won't leave your house. Him and his buddies won't leave your house. You get it? You get it? Because John Smith, they came to America with his buddies and they ain't never left yet. They don't know when it's time to quit. Then you had the prince from Little Mermaid. Was looking for perfection. Then you had the other prince from, I think that's the prince. That's not the prince from Sleeping Beauty. That's the prince from, I forgot what movie that is. But he had commitment issues. And the movie down in the bottom, I don't remember, but technically that person was a jail bait. He was jail bait. So as you see, Disney did a number on all of us. It did a number on women with certain traits. It did a number on the men just the same. And we just need to acknowledge that there's a lot of things that we have learned that we have to unlearn. So let me hide this. So I have one more video for you guys. And then I'm going to head out and eat and relax for the remaining of the day. So let me see if I can pull this up. So this is one of your famous, yours truly. I have to, yeah. Okay, there we go. This is yours truly. He's going to talk about men trapped in childhood. You heard it from the horse's mouth, Jordan Peterson. So shout out to him. And let me see if I can get, what am I looking for? Give me 1 second. No, that's not what I wanted. All right, but I just wanted to put an overlay. But yeah, anyway, fair use is in effect because, you know, he has over 1 million something subscribers and stuff. So I ain't trying to dig. But he's going to talk about men who are trapped in childhood. So please pay attention. This can be very good information if you're willing to listen.
This is the Peter Pan story, roughly speaking. Peter Pan is this magical boy. Pan is the god of everything, roughly speaking, right? And so it's not an accident that he has the name Pan. And he's the boy that won't grow up. And he's magical. Well, that's because children are magical. They can be anything. They're nothing but potential. And Peter Pan doesn't want to give that up. Why? Well, he's got some adults around him, but the main adult is Captain Hook. Well, who the hell wants to grow up to be Captain Hook? First of all, you've got a hook. Second, you're a tyrant. And third, you're chased by the dragon of chaos with a clock in its stomach, right? The crocodile. It's already got a piece of you. Well, that's what happens when you get older. Time has already got a piece of you. And eventually, it's got a taste for you. And eventually, it's going to eat you. And so Hook is so traumatized by that he can't help but be a tyrant. And then Peter Pan looks at traumatized Hook and says, well, no, I'm not sacrificing my childhood for that. So that's fine, except he ends up king of the Lost Boys. In Neverland, well, Neverland doesn't exist, and who the hell wants to be king of the Lost Boys? And he also sacrifices the possibility that he'll have a real relationship with a woman, because that's Wendy, right? And she's kind of conservative, middle-class, London-dwelling girl. She wants to grow up and have kids and have a life. She accepts her mortality. She accepts her maturity. Peter Pan has to content himself with Tinkerbell. She doesn't even exist. She's like the fairy of porn. She doesn't exist. She's the substitute for the real thing. And so, but the dichotomy that you're talking about is very tricky because there's a sacrificial element in maturation, right? You have to sacrifice the pluripotentiality of childhood for the actuality of a frame. And the question is, well, why would you do that? Well, one reason is it happens to you whether you do it or not. You can either choose your damn limitation, or you can let it take you unaware when you're 30, or even worse, when you're 40. And then that is not a happy day. And I see people like this, and I think it's more and more common in our culture because people can put off maturity without suffering an immediate penalty. But all that happens is the penalty accrues. And then when it finally hits, it just wallops you. Because when you're 25, you can be an idiot. It's no problem. Even when you're out in a job search, it's like, well, you don't have any experience and you're kind of clueless. It's, yeah, you're young. You know, it's no problem. That's what young people are like, but they're full of potential. Okay, well, now you're the same person at 30. It's like people aren't so thrilled about you at that point. It's like, what the hell have you been doing for the last 10 years? Well, I'm just as clueless as I was when I was 22. It's, yeah, but you're not 22. You're an old infant, right? And that's an ugly thing, an old infant. So part of the reason you choose your damn sacrifice, because the sacrifice is inevitable, but at least you get to choose it. And then there's something that's even more complex than that in some sense, is that the problem with being a child is that all you are is potential, and it's really low resolution. You could be anything, but you're not anything. I think universities facilitate it, because you can go to university to not be something instead of going to university to be something. And it's Pleasure Island. And the price you pay for it, especially in the US, is debt. And you're enticed into it because the administrators can pick your pocket. So they rob your future self while allowing you to pretend that you have an identity, right? Very nasty. And you can't declare bankruptcy with your student loans in the US. It's indentured servitude. And it's precisely Pleasure Island. It's exactly that. And so tuition fees have shot way out of control. And part of the reason that universities don't make more demands on their students and let them get away with all the things they let them get away with is because they're basically, why the hell would you chase them out? They're $100,000 or more. So they can do whatever they want as long as you get to sell them to the salt mines. So then you go and you adopt an apprenticeship, roughly speaking, and then you become, at least you become something. And when you're something, that makes the world open up to you again.
All right, so it says, let's see. Kim Folk says, pause it for a bit so your screen won't go down. Yeah, I know the video is only it was only 4 minutes. So like I guess I'm okay. And then I also have a copyright scrolling down on a ticker. So hopefully that would be enough. If not, it can always be removed. That's why I decided to do it at the end. So, but yeah, shout out to Jordan Peterson. He definitely hit that on the nail. We do get stuck. We do put limitations on ourselves that we don't even know. And I would just say thank you everyone for coming, because yeah, I'm about to get out of here now. I think I have said what I needed to say. I've stated and shown the proof that I needed to show. And I'm just going to just make this a warning, a final warning. If you don't like my content, if you don't like my opinions, if you don't like my advice, you don't like my views, if you don't like my presence, I'm going to ask you to do yourself a favor and unsubscribe. I'm going to ask you to do yourself a favor and not bring yourself in my chat. Okay? I don't want to have any dealings with any one of you who cannot be cordial and who cannot just have conversations and who is not mature. I'm done with dealing with immature individuals, and this is men and women. I have nothing for you. So please leave my space and enjoy your life, enjoy your channel, enjoy your stream, enjoy all the fuckery and the toxic behaviors that you want. I'm not going to stop you, but you're not going to stop my movement and the things that I want to do and the things I want to say. And anywhere that I am invited, where I feel that it's a safe space, a safe place, and it's respectable, and I'm amongst people who are mature adults, I will go there. I will go there. My presence will be there. That's just going to be something that you have to deal with it. But anyway, I want to say thank you guys so much for coming. Everyone who still was able to, yeah, exactly. Thank you, Auntie. I appreciate it. Anybody who don't even like the stream, hit the dislike button too. If this is something that you think, well, I didn't like what this woman says, hit the dislike button. You don't have to always hit the like button. Hit the like button if you actually truly like the content. Comment in the sector, things that you like, things that you think I should change. I'm always open for suggestions. I am open for good criticism. I'm not open for disrespect in my channel, in my comment sections, or on my community war. You say something, do something that's disrespectful, that I deem as disrespectful, unprofessional, unruly, or messy, not only will your comment be deleted, you will lose your right to even comment on my channel ever again. So I'm making that clear. But other than that, I thank everyone who came up. Shout out to Brownsville. Shout out to Mr. Truth for coming up. And I just want to appreciate Mr. Truth, because we didn't start off on good terms at all. We had a lot of things to say to each other, whether it was on screen or off screen. But nonetheless, he was able to come up here and be respectful, keep with the conversation. And for that, sir, I show much respect, whether or not, if you don't like me or not per se, or I'm a cup of tea per se, for you to be able to show that much respect in class, I appreciate you. And take care of the missus, definitely. But until then, everyone, enjoy your Friday. It's Friday, guys. Woo! Take care. Bye-bye.